welcome to This is Private Practice with Jo using the standing portion of her sit-to-stand desk. Look, I've got all this space and all this room to move. I have been a little bit of a yo-yo today, going up and down, up and down. The novelty of that will probably wear off very, very quickly, though you don't get my coffee cup in the screen very well. Anywho, it is almost the end of my work day. I am feeling well despite having uneventful medical appointments yesterday, which left me incredibly anxious, but I am learning how to be resilient and also understanding that if we in private practice ran our businesses the way most health companies, institutions run their businesses, we would not have a business. So yeah. Anywho, let's not get into too much of that negativity, shall we? Not sure if there's anybody on the call today or turning up. I don't really announce when these are happening anymore, but if you're there and I can't see you because Facebook is doing its thing, I apologize. I'm not ignoring you. I just can't see you. So there you go. So I wanted to speak into why it's so important for us as health professionals to be building our businesses right now. And you may be mistaken for thinking it's just to keep business coaches employed and make sure that we're funding their lifestyle. I really hope that you're not that cynical, and I really hope that business coaches who are promoting this and understand why, as health professionals, it is super important for us to be able to build our businesses now. Now, building your business does not mean exponential growth. Building your business does not mean multiple income streams. Building your business does not mean you have to be the biggest, the best national, international provider. Building your business is about what are the things that you need to keep your business safe and secure that allows you to be able to execute the work to the people who need your help. So let me help you understand this. In the last 6 months, we've lived a fairly disrupted life, especially those of us here in Australia. We have had lots of disruptions this year. On top of all of the circumstantial disruptions, our momentum has been disrupted. Most of us have seen a bit of a dive with our income. Our motivation has been interrupted. Many of us watching and working with clients are feeling the weight of the emotional burdens of all the people all over the place. Our habits have been interrupted, even our good habits have been interrupted, and we've possibly started to develop some not so good habits. There's just been interruption after interruption after interruption. So my guess is that some of those business building tactics, some of those activities, we've let go of those as well. Why bother marketing? Why bother paying for Google AdWords? Why bother sending a referral to a rehabilitation agency? There's no jobs. I've heard that one several times. If we don't build our businesses, we are not going to be able to take advantage or be available for the people when they're ready to come. If we don't invest the time in going, what do I need to tweak in my business so that I can target the right people who will know that I am the right person to help them, we're going to be doing that when people want to come and want you to help them right now. So we're going to be so far behind where they're at, we won't meet them. So we have an accessibility issue that I doubt many of us have thought about, which is being ready for when people need us. Now, I'm not a big believer in build it and then they will come. I am not suggesting that we all need to go and invest hundreds of thousands of dollars in building our businesses, but I am suggesting that if you have taken your foot off content marketing or blogging or social media posting for PR purposes, let's get back on that. If you have stopped looking after the numbers in your business, can I suggest we get back onto that? If you have let your notes get out of control, can I suggest that we get back on top of all of that? These are all the foundational building blocks to building your business. Why is this so important? I cannot stress enough how important it is going to be for you to be able to be in a room with a client and be fully present with them. And you're going, well, what's this got to do with building your business? Frances J Harvey talks about this. If you've never heard her speak from the stage, you've got to hear it because she puts this story into everything, because I tell her to because it's really good. How many times have you been in a session or with a client when your thoughts go over to all the emails in your inbox or worrying about how you're going to be paying bills? It might just be a fleeting thought. It might be a ruminating thought, but it is still there and it is still interrupting your session with that client. Frances has got an amazing story that she tells where this actually happened when she was the person receiving therapeutic services. She actually interrupted the therapist and said, "Excuse me, where have you gone?" So my concern right now is that if you haven't got these bits taken care of, how are you going to be able to turn up? And then we've probably got, where are the kids now? And what do I need to have for school sorted? And can I go out tomorrow or can I not go out tomorrow? And all of these things threaten our ability to do the work with the clients when they need us. So we've got two things we need to be concentrating on. How do we get more people in the door? Well, we've got to let them know that we're available. We've got to let them know that we can meet them where they're at. And like I spoke into yesterday, the issues that they're possibly facing right now weren't the issues that they were facing 12 weeks ago. So how are you going to reflect that? One of my biggest challenges to anyone working in mental health right now is, what do you offer to the anxious person that is different? How do you help an anxious person understand how you can help? This is what I mean by business development. I've been working on this a little bit today in my own business. I have the pleasure of contributing to Dee Diaz's Grief and Loss Symposium, and she's asked me to speak on grief and loss for people living with chronic injury and chronic illness. And in researching it and researching the book that I'm going to write, possibly not this year because, pacing, it is becoming so apparent to me that we can no longer ignore the effects of chronic disease, injury, and illness coming into our rooms, even if it's not the presenting condition. Almost as high as 1 in 2. Somebody will be turning up. Every second person you will see is going to be turning up with some type of chronic health, chronic illness issue. So if I am not ready, if you're not ready for the issues that that's going to bring to my business, if you're sitting there going, "Oh my God, I didn't know we were dealing with chronic pain on top of an adjustment disorder, I better go learn about that," then we're a bit behind the 8 ball. Now, it doesn't mean that we all need to become chronic health experts. It doesn't. But what it does mean is we need to become informed, which is a business building activity. We are in the business of people. We're not in the business of health. We are in the business of people. We need to understand what the issues are that are causing people the distress that they experience where they need our help. And just telling people your techniques and how you're going to fix it and trying to sound like everybody else on the interwebs ain't going to cut it, because most people are sophisticated enough and smart enough to see right through that. So I've given you some clues today. The key I want you to understand here is your business development allows you to stay focused and present during your sessions. So if you have always poo-pooed the idea of business development, making sure you're looking after your business or it's too hard, can I really challenge you? If you want to continue to do good clinical work as a practitioner in private practice, this is one of your self-care attributes. Have your business working well, which means it needs some development and it needs some attention. All right, almost finished for the day. I've got one more thing to do. I get to meet with my finance team today because we want to talk about the numbers, because that's what we do to make sure that my business allows me to stay present when I'm dealing with my clients and making sure that I serve them in a way that is empowering for them. So until tomorrow or the next time that I do another one of these episodes, go be your awesome self.